What?
This story's so weird.
Well, it is the origin of weird. Oh, hey there.
Oh, hey there. This is the origin of weird, and I'm Kate.
And I'm Bradley. Welcome to the History Buffoons, Origin of Weird.
Yes.
And apparently this one is supposed to be really weird.
Are you enjoying the Origin of Weird series?
I am, because I like weird shit.
Yeah.
And I think we're on a quest to find the origin of weird, but I don't think we'll ever get there because there's so much weird shit in this world.
People are weird.
People are strange, just like the Doors used to say.
And I'm going to tell you about one of these people.
Okay.
I'm going to start with a quote.
All right.
It is from the British Mists Weekly Journal.
Mists Weekly Journal. Okay.
And this was publicated on November 19th, 1726.
So a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Almost 300 years ago. Holy fuck.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Quote, from Guildford comes a strange but well-attested piece of news.
Okay.
That a poor woman who lives at Godalming, near that town, was about a month past delivered by Mr. John Howard, an eminent surgeon and man midwife, of a creature resembling a rabbit, but whose heart and lungs grew without its belly about 14 days since she was delivered by the same person of a perfect rabbit, and a few days after of 4 more. And on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the 4th, 5th, and 6th instant of one in each day, in all 9, they died all in bringing into the world, end quote.
That is a weird, wild quote. I can't make heads or tails of that.
I see what you did there.
Thank you.
This poor woman is 24-year-old Mary Toft.
Mary Toft, like T-O-F-T?
Yes,
Okay.
and she tricked doctors into believing that she had given birth to rabbits.
She stick them up her hoo-ha?
Oh, yes.
Seriously?
Oh, yes.
What the fuck?
Mary Toft was, in fact, an illiterate servant and mother to 3, scraping by on very little.
Okay.
Earlier in 1726, she had been pregnant, but she suffered a miscarriage. And according to Mary's later account, the whole bunny business started after an encounter with a rabbit in the fields.
They had a conversation? I mean...
One day she was weeding, and Mary spotted a rabbit and ran after it. But of course, they're quick little buggers.
Yeah, they're fast as fuck.
She didn't catch it, but that night she dreamt of rabbits.
Who doesn't?
Ever since then, she claimed she had an intense craving
To stick them up her hoo-ha?
to eat rabbit meat.
Hassenpfeffer?
But she was broke.
Oh, right. Because she was a poor old servant with 3 kids at this time, you said, right?
And illiterate.
And illiterate. Yeah, she couldn't even read the recipe.
So because she couldn't catch or buy them, she apparently began growing her own rabbits in utero.
What?
Okay. There was an explanation rooted in that era's medical lore.
Yeah.
The theory of maternal impression, which says that a pregnant woman's intense desires or frightful experiences could physically shape her unborn child.
Jesus fuck.
As strange as it sounds. Many at the time believed that it was that if an expectant mother longed for a certain food or was startled by an animal...
So she'd pop out a cake out of her cooch? I mean, what the fuck is this?
Her baby might bear some resemblance to it.
Why do you got sprinkles all over your head, Jacob? Mama wanted a piece of cake.
Jacob? Why do you have sprinkles on your head, Jacob?
Jacob? Mama wanted a cake when she was pregnant with me.
So when Mary began experiencing severe pains a month after her miscarriage, she wondered if something particular was still inside of her.
Like a rabbit?
That's when the rabbits or parts of rabbits allegedly started coming out.
So did she lie about the parts, or did she finally catch a rabbit and stick them up?
Oh, I'll tell you.
Oh, Jesus fuck.
Neighbors and family were stunned as Mary
Can you blame them?
in fits of quote-unquote labor, expelled what looked like animal parts. A piece of mystery flesh here, a rabbit foot without the chain here.
I say, so it wasn't lucky, was it?
All right.
I think we've talked about this. Did you ever
Rabbit's
have one?
Oh, fuck yeah. I had a hot pink one.
Yeah, that's right. We did talk about it.
Yeah.
I had a white one, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a race thing.
Jesus. One witness described seeing, quote, 3 legs of a cat of a tabby color and 1 leg of a rabbit, spelled E-T, rabbit, delivered from Mary.
Yeah.
So enter John Howard. He is a respected surgeon,
Sure is.
a man midwife from a nearby town.
Okay.
Initially, Howard dismissed the rumors that Mary had given birth to non-human bits and bobs.
Rightly so, as he should have.
But curiosity got the better of it.
Did it kill the rabbit?
When Mary went into her labor again,
Whatever you want to call this.
Howard was present and soon found himself delivering assorted animal parts from her body. Over the next few days, Mary produced a litter of dismembered animal bits.
Oh my God.
And at least 9 dead baby rabbits, one after another.
So, first of all, poor rabbits.
Yeah.
Second of all, where did she find a litter of rabbits that she could basically kill and then shove up her hoo-ha?
They are not in a metropolis.
No.
They're in the fields.
I get that. I have a family of rabbits outside right now.
Okay, so maybe there's 9 of them.
No, there's 4. Actually, I haven't seen a lot of the babies recently, so they're either...
They're grown and gone.
It's possible, but there's 2 little ones that like to hang out by my car. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, my battery's low. Okay.
I told you to plug it the fuck in.
Howard preserved these specimens and sent word to other prominent doctors.
Okay.
After all, medical marvel of the century if it's real.
Well, this is 300 years ago. You have to, what do they say? Trust the science at the time.
At the time.
So.
Yes. Howard was in a bit of a tough spot. Either he had stumbled on this miraculous phenomenon or he was been made a fool of.
Right.
Okay. And who wouldn't want to believe that they discovered something extraordinary? So he kind of doubled down.
People like fame because it brings fortune, typically. So sometimes people will latch on to something as ridiculous as a lady shitting out rabbits of her hooch and being like, I'm going to be rich.
By late October of 1726, Howard had notified England's medical community and even the royal court of Mary Toft's births. Okay.
Right. Wow.
Given the uproar, it wasn't long before higher authorities got involved, starting with King George the First's own royal household.
Oh boy.
The king, likely imagining either a divine miracle or an outrageous fraud, he didn't know which, dispatched 2 men to investigate Mary's claims.
Okay.
The first, Nathaniel St. André.
Okay.
He was Swiss-born, a surgeon to the king, and eager to make a scientific name for himself.
Sure.
The second was Samuel Molyneux. Molyneux with an N.
Oh, okay.
Secretary to the Prince of Wales.
Oh.
And assumingly along to keep things honest.
Right.
Like he was the what?
Level-headed.
Yeah.
Kind of
like the spotter.
Yeah. Like, hey, let's dial this back a minute.
So, St. André and Molyneux arrived November 15th, 1726, and they were astounded with, Mary is in labor again.
Weird.
This time with her 15th rabbit.
And no one thought to ask, like, who are you mating with?
The moment these men walked in, Mary promptly delivered several more dead baby rabbits right before their very eyes. Mary is probably like, oh, they're here? Okay, cue labor.
Push.
Mm-hmm.
And no one thought it was weird that they all were dead? I mean...
I don't know.
Because they were dead when they went up there. I hope she died of some weird disease that she got because she shoved dead animals in her hooch.
So the investigators got to work examining the specimens.
Of course.
St. André scrutinized the rabbit's lungs and organs, and what he found was somewhat puzzling to him. The anatomy didn't add up for creatures supposedly gestated inside a human womb.
Right.
The rabbit seemed perfectly normal, which should have been a red flag, but St. André, perhaps blinded by the allure of having discovered this medical marvel, leaned a little bit more into the mythical explanation.
Jesus. Which is just stupid. People can't have rabbits.
He declared Mary's case genuine.
Oh, what a fucking idiot.
Mm-hmm.
People can fuck like rabbits. They just can't have rabbits like rabbits.
So St. André hurried back to London to present the evidence to the King and the Prince of Wales.
Fucking moron.
So not everyone was easily convinced. Even King George decided to send a man for a second opinion.
I hope so.
Mm-hmm. And that is Cyriacus Ahlers.
I believe you.
A German-born surgeon from his own court.
Okay.
Ahlers arrived in November and observed Mary himself. Sure enough, she produced even more rabbit bits in his presence.
Weird.
But Ahlers noticed things that something wasn't right.
Something's off.
Yeah, it wasn't right. Mary seemed to fake contractions whenever she thought no one was watching closely.
Yeah.
He also saw that John Howard, the man midwife, guarded Mary like a hawk and was oddly reluctant to let others assist in delivering. And suspicious Ahlers quietly pocketed some of the animal remains to study later.
Yeah, so he could look at them without other prying eyes and be like...
Exactly.
Huh.
So, back in London, he performed a straightforward analysis that should have ended the whole charade. He examined the contents and dissected the rabbit's guts.
Okay.
Lo and behold, the stomach and intestines contained bits of straw, hay, and corn. Those who might nibble in a barnyard, not certainly found in a human womb.
Correct, because they wouldn't have had access to that yet.
Yeah.
So
unless Mary's belly came with an all-you-can-eat fucking salad bar,
and I think it did,
this was hard proof that the rabbits weren't developed inside her body.
No.
So Ahlers reported to the king that once he suspected of a hoax, it likely I can't even say the word. We're just going to move on from penetration.
No, you have to say it now. Penetration?
Penetration.
Why can't you say that word?
I'm just going to move on.
All right. Let's penetrate to the next topic.
This put St. André, the Swiss surgeon, and Howard, the surgeon man midwife, into an awkward position.
Well, right, because
they had gone all in.
They bought into this nonsense, and they're like, oh, wait, this isn't real? Fuck.
St. André sprang into damage control mode.
Sure.
He convinced the eminent London physician, Sir Richard Manningham, a fashionable high society doctor, to come examine Mary as well.
Okay.
Manningham did so. He immediately found the whole thing fishy.
Fishy.
On one occasion, he watched Mary deliver something that looked like a hog's bladder.
Okay.
That was not normal obstetrics.
Nope.
Manningham privately voiced his doubts, but Howard and André urged him to stay quiet until they had definitive proof of fraud.
Right.
Perhaps hoping to save their reputations in return.
Right.
By late November 1726, Mary Toft had been brought to London, specifically to a bathhouse, repurposed as her own personal maternity ward.
Oh, God.
And her bunny burst became the biggest show in town.
So how did... Okay.
Londoners flocked to see this miraculous rabbit lady.
I feel like you should have said they hopped to see. Anyways.
Under St. André's proud supervision, the woman was prodded and monitored around the clock. Every creature in town, both men and women, wanted to see her. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. She was a one-woman carnival.
Correct.
And
she was a freak show.
And of course, the media was involved. Pamphlets, newsletters.
Right.
All about Mary's condition.
Well, of course, because they wanted to sell their shit.
Early December.
Yes.
All of a sudden, no new rabbits.
Weird.
It seemed that the supply of rabbits
ran out.
Yeah,
I wonder why. Because she wasn't in her rabbit fertile area anymore.
her health was deteriorating.
I hope so. She's a fucking idiot.
She developed a nasty infection. She spiked a fever. She had intermittent fits where she would convulse and even lose consciousness.
Right.
And a breaking point came on December 4th, 1726. A porter employed at the bathhouse, a man named Thomas Howard, no relation to John Howard, the man midwife, was caught red-handed trying to sneak a fucking small rabbit into Mary Toft's quarters.
So she had a what's the word I'm looking for?
A helper.
Fuck. Why can't I remember the word I'm looking for? God damn it. Yeah, we'll go with helper because that's an elegant word.
The porter confessed that Mary's sister-in-law had bribed him to smuggle the tiniest rabbit he could find into her room. The physicians assembled. Avengers assemble! They summoned Sir Thomas Clarkes, a justice of the peace, to come immediately.
Right.
Clarkes interrogated Mary on the spot.
Okay.
And Mary was like, nope. This is true.
How could she still fucking stand by that?
For 2 days, Mary toughed it out, refusing to confess. But Sir Richard Manningham had a trick up his sleeve. On December 7th, in front of Mary, he ominously threatened to perform a surgical examination of her uterus to see if she was somehow built differently. Because Mary couldn't produce any more rabbits and there was a scalpel coming for her uterus, it was a little bit too much for Mary, and she confessed.
Rightly so, because it was all a fucking lie. She wanted attention.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted to try and make a name for herself and or money or whatever, because she was a poor single mother with 3 kids.
Yes.
What happened to Dad?
I don't know.
Me either.
Mary admitted that since her miscarriage months earlier, she had some helpers.
Sure.
Planting animal parts in her body.
Her poor kids weren't involved in this, were they?
I don't know.
I hope not, because that'd be fucking weird.
I'm hoping it was just the adults.
I'm hoping so too,
but we're talking dead baby rabbits, bits of chicken guts, pig's bladder too, and even some cat legs. Then she'd fake labor.
Did they not know that the cat legs don't look like rabbits?
Then she'd fake labor, scream a bit, and dramatically deliver them like she was the world's weirdest magician. Mary's confession was messy, all over the place. One version, she blamed a mysterious traveling woman who told her that the stunt would make her rich. And another, she dragged her mother-in-law and poor Dr. Howard, the man midwife, into the mess. She bounced between being a victim, the mastermind, and the just doing what I was told kind of middle woman.
She was a dumb shit.
Mary Toft was desperate. She lost a pregnancy, was trapped in poverty, saw a bizarre, disgusting way to possibly earn some money, blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
But it worked. She fooled top doctors.
For a while.
And royal doctors.
For a while. Yeah.
Yes.
So did she actually make any money off of this?
No.
See, exactly.
On December 9th, 1726, Mary was charged under an ancient statute under Edward III.
Nice.
As a, quote, vile, cheat, and imposter, end quote.
Okay.
And thrown into Bridewell Prison in Westminster.
Nice.
And even in jail, she was still a sideshow. It was rumored that the guards let curious Londoners pay to see her as an exhibit. She's the infamous rabbit woman. So, but once that all calmed down, the joke wasn't honestly entirely on the medical establishment.
Yeah, for sure.
No one suffered more than Nathaniel St. André, the king's surgeon, who had so enthusiastically validated this hoax. Just 4 days before Mary confessed, St. André had proudly published a 40-page pamphlet titled A Short Narrative of an Extraordinary Deliverer of Rabbits, detailing Mary's case. St. André had taken Mary's story at face value, bent over backwards to justify. He included Mary's explanations about the rabbit dreams and the cravings and in complete full detail.
Did she really want carrots while she was pregnant? Oh, Jesus. How could you buy so hard into that? I understand this is 300 years ago, but holy fuck. Seriously.
St. André instantly became the butt of countless jokes.
As rightly so.
Yeah, and his career took a nosedive, and by the next year, he resigned in disgrace.
Aww.
About 4 months in prison and a couple of court appearances, Mary was ultimately released in April 1727 without formal trial or punishment.
Really?
Mary went back to her hometown, where remarkably she lived out the rest of her days quietly until 1763.
Oh, wow.
She even had another real human child.
Did she really?
And a few years later, as if to prove that her reproductive system was done, the rabbit business was for good. That is the story of Mary Toft and her rabbit delivery sensation.
Did she name that next kid Peter?
I really hope she did.
Maybe Cottontail.
Isn't that nutso?
What a fucking psychopath.
Yeah.
Why are people so dumb?
So remember last weekend when we were kind of working on our computers at the same time, and I said to myself, oh, that's an origin of weird story if I ever heard one. That's what this one was.
Wow, that is great. Because, yeah, what a psychopath.
What a psycho.
Like, how could you think you could get away with that? To be, like, honestly, you're basically just pissing out bunny parts.
Yeah.
That's all you're really doing. You're shoving it up in your hoo-ha, being like, push it out.
Oof, it sounds so gnarly.
It's because it's gross as fuck.
Yes,
You're shoving dead animal up your hoo-ha. Wow. I mean, how did she think she was going to get away with that?
I wonder what influencers these days would go to. What lengths would they go to be viral?
See, the sad part is they shouldn't even be called influencers. I've never been influenced once by any of those people like, oh my God, I got to go buy this product.
You know why? Because you don't watch those.
No, I mean, I come across them just because of it's fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
But no, I don't watch them. To me personally, and to each their own, if you want to be a sheep, go ahead. But like to watch this person and be like, you know what? I should buy this product because they told me I should.
Yeah.
I don't know. Use your own fucking brain.
Mm-hmm.
And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that sometimes like some people, even a commercial or whatever, like isn't a good idea. But it's just like, how do you blindly follow people like that?
Yeah.
So it's the same.
I think those are called cults.
Sometimes. But back to her, it's like that doctor just like, yeah, this is great. Let's publish this 40-page pamphlet. It's like,
awful.
Dude, you're supposed to be like
a surgeon.
Well, you're a surgeon, a doctor, whatever, which was very, very highly regarded in those days because not a lot of people were.
No.
I mean, it's not like not like we have today, like where there's thousands of people in a hospital that overcharge you for medicine and shit and whatever. Can't afford that. Back then, it was actually like a profession. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was medieval, literally, because it's 1700s, but that was a very prominent position back in those days. Mm-hmm. And he just fucking bought into that. It's like, come on, man.
Yep.
You kind of deserve that disgraceful exit of your But anyways.
Yeah, so.
That's my Bradley rant for the day.
Mary Toft and the origin of weird.
Wow, the bunny lady of 1726.
Yeah.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah.
Well, let's hop on out of here, I suppose. All right, buffoons, that's it for today's episode.
Buckle up because we've got another historical adventure waiting for you next time. Feeling hungry for more buffoonery? Or maybe you have a burning question or a wild historical theory for us to explore?
Hit us up on social media. We're History Buffoons Podcast on YouTube, X, Instagram, and Facebook. You can also email us at historybuffoonspodcast@gmail.com. We are Bradley and Kate, music by Corey Akers.
Follow us wherever you get your podcasts and turn those notifications on to stay in the loop.
Until next time, stay curious and don't forget to rate and review us.
Remember, the buffoonery never stops.